Hi everyone, if we haven't met before, my name is Becca and I'm the music teacher over at beccasmusicroom.com, and today I'm doing the pandemic teacher tag. So a few weeks ago, I think now, Michelle Foray from Pocketful of Primary did this video where she created a YouTube tag, which is basically just a series of questions that different people on YouTube can answer. So if you have a YouTube channel, I would love to hear all of your answers, and if you don't, you can leave all of the answers to your questions in the comments because I would still love to hear all of your answers. So I'm just chilling here with my little jingle mug because it is the first day of December when I'm filming this, and I'm gonna answer all of these questions. So there are 10 questions in all, and I will put them in the description so that if you have a YouTube channel and you want to answer them, or you want to answer them just in the comments, then you can do that. Okay, so the first question is, are you teaching virtually, in person, or in a hybrid model, and explain how that's going. So I have been virtual since March. We went on spring break and we never came back. We started the year virtually. Our school system did a actually I guess technically 2 phases of students coming back into the building, but our school only had about 26 kids who ended up coming back, and so because of that I stayed virtual. I am a music teacher, so I teach specials, which just makes all of this a little extra fun, I feel like. So I am still completely virtual, as is most of my school. In December, yes. And we are going to like the next phase of reopening in January. So all of the teachers are reporting to the schools, and we're having like another phase, but we still don't actually have that many parents saying they want their kids to come back to the school, which I thought was very surprising. I thought for sure that the parents would be like really sick of all of this by now. We got some preliminary numbers so far. We're still like a month out, so there might fluctuate, but like as of today, there was one grade that only had 9 kids that are supposed to come back. 9? And each of our grades has like 100 kids, and so yeah, that was really surprising. I thought that the parents would be like, all right, get out of my house, but I guess they're being more cautious than I thought. So I'm teaching completely virtually. I see my kiddos for about 30 minutes a day. I see them every day for a week, and then I see a different group the next week, which is what we did in school anyway. And then if you're like doing the math and figuring out that that's not a lot of time, the rest of the time I am helping out in the virtual classrooms, and so doing like small groups and that kind of work, which is fine. We are using Zoom, and attendance has not been great, which has been one of kind of like the biggest issues for me. And especially like whenever we actually do get to go back in school with all of the kids, I'm like, half of you are gonna be really behind because you don't know anything because you haven't come to class in months. But alas, that's just, you know, 2020, and we'll deal with it when we get there. So number 2 says, on a scale of 1 to 10, how are you doing? I feel like I'm actually doing pretty well. I would say maybe like a 7 or an 8. Last school year, I was more at like maybe like a 3 or a 4. I was on the struggle. I was really on this stress bus. I was just so stressed out with all of the changes and figuring out what to do, and especially because I have a blog and a Teachers Pay Teacher Shop and YouTube channel and all that stuff. I was like, not only was I trying to figure it out for me, but I was also trying to help all of the other people, but I didn't know what I was doing. So I was like, I need to, you know, figure everything out really quickly so that I can give, you know, people tips, but I didn't know what I was doing. And so like that combination plus just things changing constantly was really stressing me out. This year, I went into it being like, okay, we're just gonna be chill, and things are gonna be stressful, and I'm just gonna try to not let it stress me out, and it's going to just have to be fine. So I just really went into it with like, let's see if we can fix my mental space and do a lot better with like positivity and all that kind of stuff. Speaking of which, the next one says, what is one positive thing about your teaching format? So for me, I would say a few positive things. I get a lot more doggy snuggles this way because like on my planning period, I can go sit on the couch and like snuggle up next to my pups. And so that's really nice. I've been forced to get a lot more creative and do a lot of like techie things that I was not trying to do at all. I've been forced to slow down a little bit. My classes are usually like super crazy fast paced, and we're always, you know, up and dancing and do all these things, which is great. But over the past few months, I have had more lessons that were maybe a little more chill. We maybe read more books, and had more like listening and things that I was actually worried that the kids wouldn't like, and they actually really enjoyed it. So I realized that like I don't have to have everything like super crazy, everything's going on all at once every single day for the kids to like learn and enjoy my class. Like they're still engaged, but just I feel like not every day has been quite as gung-ho, and it's actually worked out pretty well. And I have to say, I love the mute button. It's a beautiful thing. What is one thing you are rocking? I think I've been doing a pretty good job of getting the kids involved as much as possible, and specifically like how can we get you up and get you moving and listening. And so we've done like a lot of dancing and movement, and I feel like that is one area I've done a really good job in. And then it just kind of figuring out like new expectations have been pretty good. Number 5 is, what is one challenge that you have overcome? One challenge. So what is one challenge you faced and how have you overcome it? We've had many challenges, of course, as we all have, and like we normally do. But one thing I would say is engagement, because the kids can attend school from their beds in their pajamas. It's hard to get them up and, you know, just engaged. And so I've done a few different things to help with that. I definitely have like intentionally put in areas where I'm like, stop and let kids unmute and tell me their answers or like show me things. But one thing that's helped is I am taking the Whole Brain Teaching course, which is a free online course, which I will leave down below. And it is centered around student engagement basically. And I've implemented a few of their tactics so far. I haven't done everything because I'm not done, so I don't know all the things yet. But I specifically have been doing mirror words, which is one of the concepts they use to help teach. And so basically, instead of just like me sitting here talking and talking and talking, is that you say mirrors up and they say mirrors up, and then they say everything you say and they do everything you do. And so you speak in like short chunks and you use your hands with gestures that are specific to what you're doing, and it helps the kids to pay more attention because they have to. You have to speak in shorter sentences, so it helps them to understand better because you're just forced to do less. And the gestures help get more of their brain engaged. And over Zoom, it is game changer because you can see if the kids are doing it. So even if they're all on mute, I can see whether they're doing it or not. So for example, one that we did actually today with my 4th and 5th graders, we're learning about form. And so we said, all right, mirrors up. And we said, form is how music is put together. They would say, form is how music is put together. Form is made of sections. Each section has a letter like A, B, or C. And I would say that. Form is how music is put together. So then every time I'd say form, I would go like this, and they just really got that in their brains. Another one is my 1st and 2nd graders are learning about calypso music, and they have a lot of percussion in calypso music. So we used it for calypso music and also percussion. So like today we did mirrors up. Calypso music has a lot of percussion instruments. Percussion instruments are things you hit, things you scrape, and things you shake. Mirrors away. And we usually will do that a couple of times. And so it's like, here's this little chunk where they're repeating things back to me and they're using their bodies, and then I'll tell them, all right, now that we're gonna do this. So like we did that, and then I said, okay, go find something you can hit, scrape, or shake. And they brought it back. We would listen to the song and then we got to like play some rhythms and listen to the song and play rhythms. And so just things like that have been really helpful. And I will tell you, I was skeptical of using it with the older kids. I was like, you know, that's great for, you know, the little kids, but like, what about, you know, the 5th graders? They're gonna be too old for that. They love it too. What is one thing that has made teaching easier for you during a pandemic? So definitely using my iPad in combination with my computer. So I figured out that I can share my iPad screen when I'm on my computer on Zoom. You just, when you click share settings, it's like iPad it says like iPhone, iPod, and you click there, and then you drag down on your iPad and click like mirror, and then it will show the kids what's on your iPad. So I pull up my teaching slides on my iPad, and then I have the kids up on the screen so I can see all of them even as we're doing other things. It's decided to act up this week, so I'm not really sure what that's about, but hopefully I get that figured out, because it wasn't playing the videos all of a sudden, even though it had no problem. So I had to pull it up on my computer. But being able to see my iPad, everything that's going on, and seeing all of them is just really helpful, especially for classroom management purposes and, you know, seeing everybody and just all that kind of stuff. So definitely suggest it. If you don't have an iPad or something like that, you can also just log into Zoom with another device, but do be warned, you need to mute one of the devices so that you don't accidentally get like the audio picked up on the other one, because that makes it a mess. All right, number 7 is, what is something you've changed that you will continue? So definitely my teaching slides. I have always made PowerPoints, and I would make like a PowerPoint, you know, I had a PowerPoint for this song and a PowerPoint for that song. But the problem is that we do lots of songs, and so I would have like 12 different things pulled up on my computer. So this year what I did is, instead I took all those PowerPoints I already had, and I saved them as images, and then I insert that picture into a Google slide, and each grade has a Google slide. So I have like first grade Google slides, and I have like actually they're free on my TBT shop, and they're editable, so you can go check that out. I'll link it down below. And so like first grade, I have first grade, and it has like a welcome slide where it says the standard, and there's a Go Noodle video on it, so that we can do that like right off the bat while I'm waiting for more kids to like clicking kids in and stuff like that. And then I have, you know, like the welcome song, and then I have this, and then I put all the slides for all the other things I need. So like this week I needed one slide from my Hanukkah song, and I needed a couple of slides from a Nutcracker PowerPoint, and just different things like that, and I was able to stick them all into one. So as I'm teaching, I just go to the next slide, and it's all there, and it's magical. It does take some extra time, but it is so worth it, and I'm never going back. Number 8, what is your best purchase during the pandemic? 100% my Nespresso. Game changer. I was supposed to go to the Teachers Pay Teachers conference this summer, and when it got turned virtual, I got a refund on my ticket price, and I was like, you know what? We're gonna buy an espresso. Greatest choice ever. It's been wonderful. I love it. I drink it every single day. It's the greatest thing in my life. For a cheaper, helpful thing, I also got a laptop stand, which is helpful because I don't like my laptop being on the table, because 1, it hurts my neck when I'm looking down, and 2, it's like a really funky angle, and I know that's really stupid, but still. And so the laptop stand helps my laptop stay up enough that I can see better, and then also like I look a little bit less stupid. So those are nice. Number 9 is, how have you been taking care of yourself? I thought I did a really good job with this before the pandemic, and then the pandemic hit, and I realized I wasn't doing as great as possible. But a few things that have really helped. 1, sticking to my planning and like having a plan for the day and executing it is a game changer. I have seen so many people who are like, I can't believe I bought a 2020 planner. I have used my planner more this year than ever before in my life, because if I don't have that planner out, I will sit on the couch and do nothing. So having my planner has been a game changer, because I can actually focus on like what I need to do and all of that good stuff, and I am not falling behind as much. I'm also using my planner to plan some fun things, because that is one area where, you know, I'm not using my planner to schedule events. Actually, for December, I opened the December calendar. Today's December 1st. And I opened my December calendar. I wrote one thing in the entire month. I had one event I needed to go to and attend, and then it got canceled. So literally I have nothing on it for that. Now, I have a ton of stuff on it for lesson planning and for YouTube videos and for everything else that I need to keep track of, and it is so helpful. But for events, yeah, no, I don't need that. But using my planner to plan some fun things. So like, I'll put on my planner, I'll say like, oh, I'm going to paint today, or oh, I'm gonna watch this movie today, or stuff like that, because I normally wouldn't do things like that, and I kind of get caught up on work. And so having it there and being is a nice reminder to be like, oh, Becca, you should stop and move on. Which is the next thing, shutting off my computer. Because I have a full-time job and also a teachers pay teachers store, YouTube, all the good things, I have a very hard time at shutting down. And it used to not be a problem because, you know, I would teach all day, I'd come home and I would sit on the couch and I would like work on TPT stuff. But when I'm sitting on the computer all day and then I have to sit on the computer to do TPT stuff, it's not fun because I start, you know, like my shoulders hurt and my neck hurts and my eyes hurt, and I feel like you get really grumpy when you're on the computer for a long time. Might just be me, but that was something that just I really noticed that I had never noticed before because I had never spent all day long on the computer before. So shutting down my computer, I have not been working at night since probably April. Like at first I was just working all of the time. I would, you know, work until 4:15, and at 4:15 I would start doing TPT, and I would do that, and then I'd stop, make dinner, and then I would go back to working on TPT. But in about April, I was like, I can't function like this. It's just crazy. And so I started being more like, okay, I'm gonna be done at this time. And that was really helpful. Also like breaks and, you know, going outside for a few minutes. Oh good, she didn't hear me. That's a trigger word for my doggies over here. So that was almost bad. And then the last thing I'll say is sticking to my routines. So like having that morning routine in place where I'm very intentional about like, I get up at this time, I work out, I drink water, I have a smoothie, I do work for myself, and then I get coffee and I do work for school. Just having that really specific routine has been really helpful, because otherwise I feel like you get in a bit of a rut, or it's really easy to get really slack and just be like, oh, I'm just gonna sleep in an extra hour or two, or I'm just not gonna work out today. And just so maintaining those healthy habits that I worked really hard to instill has been really good. And then the last thing is, what has been making you happy in this time? I've been really working on noticing all the happy things and being very grateful and having that positive mindset, because I literally wrote a book about being a happier teacher and how you're in charge of your mindset and all of that. So every time I start getting grumpy, I'm like, Becca, you wrote a book about being happy, you need to fix this. And so I've been really trying to be intentional about noticing all of those really happy things and doing more of what makes me happy. But some things have been making happy that I've already kind of mentioned. Nespresso, having those lattes, the greatest. I have so much joy in coffee syrups. It's great. And then my doggies, again, I have loved getting to spend so much time with them. I thought they would kind of get sick of me after a while, but they just love me even more, I feel like. And then lately it's been all of the Christmas. So we decorated for Christmas the day after Thanksgiving, and it is just making me so happy. So like this is our Christmas tree, and we have like a couple pillows, and we have garland, and just like all the like candles, and I got a remote control for the tree and for some of the candles, and that makes me really happy. You feel so powerful. You like click and it turns on, and then you don't have to like bend down and crawl under and all that kind of stuff. And so that's just one of those really simple things that's been making me happy. I've been wearing a lot of like Christmas t-shirts and sweatshirts and stuff like that. And I sit like right here in the evening, and so I'm like right in front of the tree, and we've been watching all these Christmas movies. So even though we're only like a few days into the Christmas season, it's only December 1st, so I guess for a lot of you we're in the first day of the Christmas season, but just really indulging this year has been nice. Yesterday we decorated the children's church area of our church, and our youth pastor mentioned, he was like, I've just been going Christmas crazy. Like we got a tree in every room. He was like, I just feel like I need a little extra Christmas this year. And I was like, I can relate to that. I feel ya. I feel ya. So that's a really recent thing that's been making me happy, but it has been a little bit less recent. So like if you'd asked me this a month ago, I would have probably said bullet journaling, and just journaling in general has been really fun. I've been making really elaborate bullet journal spreads. This was my first year ever bullet journaling, and so it's been a lot of fun. And then I also have gotten a chance to actually journal, like write. I really wanted to at the beginning of the year, and I thought about making it like a New Year's resolution, and then I was like, when am I gonna have time to incorporate journaling into my life? And I had no idea that I was gonna have all the time to incorporate journaling into my life. So it's been a wild ride. It's been crazy, but that's kind of where I am at the moment. So if you have a YouTube channel, I would love if you would answer these questions and maybe leave a link to your YouTube video in the comments. Do leave something else, like don't just do the link to your YouTube video or YouTube will think you're spam, but you can, like, you know, say, here's what I got, and then do that. And if you don't have a YouTube channel, leave answers to the questions in the comments, because I'm really curious, especially about things that are positive and things that are helping you get through and things that you are taking out of this that you're going to continue to do, because I definitely think teaching will never be the same again. So hopefully that's in a good way. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this, please make sure you hit the like button down below and the subscribe. Like helps other people to find this, and subscribe helps you to find the next video that comes out. I have lots of videos about music teachery things and lessons and ideas and just all of the things, because making videos has also been making me very happy and gives me a reason to put makeup on once a week. So thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you later. Bye. But our school only had about 26 kids. Hello. Can you pause? Nope. Pause. Well, and I'm gonna stop. Could you stop licking? Thank you.